that by into hello. I know how to love you now. No matter what I do, I can't let go. I don't know how to forget you. I can't forget you. You're always on my mind. I do the things that I should do, so I can't forget, but you're always on my mind. Thought you'd be gone by tomorrow, but you're still there tomorrow, and the next day, the next day. I wish I wouldn't remember.
The sun is shining, there's a bit of a breeze. It's a perfect day for speed frisbee.
We have two European standouts here.
We are moments away from the opening pull now.
Deep breaths before the madness begins.
Greatest attempt! Oh my goodness, layout to keep it alive! My brains are melting out of my ears! What is going on out there?
Women's division champions.
Gold medal winners here on the beach. European Beach Ultimate Club champions.
Thank you and enjoy the show.
Good afternoon and welcome to Gdańsk, the host site of the European Beach Ultimate Club Championships here in 2025. We've got a great match coming up. Gambozinos taking on Goldfingers. My name's Stefan Rapazzo, alongside Gigi Morrison. Gigi, we're going to get into one here. These teams both need a win.
Yeah, unfortunately, both these teams having taken 2 losses so far. Gambozinos coming out of Portugal and Goldfinger Potsdam coming out of Germany. They're carrying the weight of a loss under their belts, so it'll be interesting to see how fiery they'll be coming out of this first point. Just throwing it back and forth a little bit, getting used to the wind.
Oh, yeah. Zumba getting a little throw in, staying loose. He is one of the key contributors for this Gambozinos team. And they've got many, of course, that get it done. They've been close but no cigar, have they been? Both of their games tight. Oh, no, their first one against the Sharks, no. But then against Bratislava, they lost by 1. The Goldfingers of Potsdam, quite similar. A tightish one with Bratislava loss and beat up by the Sharks. They're going to both want to get their acts together here. This is obviously the most important one as you get to the end of pool play. You really want to finish strong and see what they can bring on home. Lacroix, 8 assists. Marquez, 6. The top of the charts for Gambozinos looks like Janos Semper for Goldfingers, and the rest all have 2. So it's really, I mean, if I'm looking at these stats from a Gambozinos side, I am keying off on number 2 and shutting him down. And now Zumba's out there. I don't see Zumba on my score sheet, but that's Zumba. Do we see a number 17? Humberto Rodriguez. So he's got a real name.
That's useful,
Yeah.
having a real name.
I just thought his real name was Zumba all this time. Here we go, Goldfingers. And first throw does not hit. He gets a layout. And Rodriguez picks up. Breaks around. Ooh, gets a catch on the second effort. And fires for goal. That one in. Bernardo Bem on the break score.
A really simple play to start off the game. That's going to be a fantastic A little bit of drive and oomph to get your team riled up. I mean, everyone loves to start off a game with a break, other than the team that didn't get the break, of course.
Yeah, everybody but them. Of course, of course. A horse is a
Fantastic
horse.
second reception on the catch, and then wonderfully flat throw. Open side under. Textbook.
Well, let's see what they do on their second asking. They got to improve on 0 completions, I would hope. Here we come.
Well fielded. Caught into the chest.
And they've blasted it. This one is also denied, and I would said that we would hope that they're going to improve on 0 completions, but thus far 2 passes, 0 completions, and a second break chance will become of it for Gambozinos.
I loved that look, and the way that the disc was thrown, the way that it sat was phenomenal. Just the defender was able to get into that space instead and really chased everything down.
Leading throw goes to Avellini. Avellini to not Zumba. Rodriguez, but it is Zumba. He sends deep, lot of body and enough body to get the D. Jose Cruces knocks that one away.
It looked to be a decent amount of contact in the end zone there, but nothing seemed to be called. Nobody wanted to have the discussion. Yeah, some contacts on the back shoulder, but it seems that Avellini didn't believe that it affected his ability to play on the disc. Goldfingers now have the entire length of the pitch to work up.
And here they come. Goldfingers from the sideline. Center and a big round. Wiedenhoff puts it into the red zone, fires, and the chase is on. It looks good. Number 22, Levin Wiedenhoff, and his mullet collect that goal.
They managed to string together a fair few passes in that circumstance. Doing really well, utilizing the entire width of the pitch, just dumping, swinging. A bit more composure than we've seen from them in the, well, at the start of that point and the previous point as well. But this IO flick, sitting and waiting for Fischer to run onto. Beautiful stuff.
Thank you for all your patriotic help, assistance in the chats. We are very aware that we've got a Spanish flag up there, and Gambozinos are proudly Portuguese. We're working on the fix as Gambozinos come from their end zone. Encarnação goes back to Lacroix. And the underneath to Simos. Marquez goes, and there's a chance there. I think there's a foul call. What do you think about that?
I can understand why there would be a discussion of the foul. It seems to have been retracted.
Yeah.
And Naumann did get quite close into the receiver.
Well, it is retracted indeed. GUC as the, well, that would be an acronym, but it is an initialism, GUC. Goldfingers Ultimate Club. Nice reception. Janos Semper, he is their key cog. And there are a handful of mullets over there. Salewski sends, looking for Semper, but cannot quite connect.
Honestly, a very impressive mullet. I think that's the most mullety mullet I've seen
Yeah,
so
that
far.
is mullety mullet. That's very true. I mean, there's not so much business at the front. It's just like there's no business at all. It's like party at the back and slightly less party at the front, but more party on the sides. It's like a hard party mullet.
It's a kick back in the front and a rave at the back.
Yes, that some of that. All right, Gambozinos blast it. Ooh, a nice speed comes and outruns the mullet. And now Gambozinos trying to get a reset. They do manage and quickly shot for goal. No layout required. Felipe Barroso on the goal reception.
I think we just got a glimpse there of how lethal this Gambozinos offense can be. Firstly, the closing speed that Encarnação got on that deep shot was ridiculously impressive. He was in line with his defender for pretty much the entire time until it got to about halfway. And managed to close down, catch it nice and easily. And that's the lethal bit that I'm talking about. It's the quick catch and release immediately. It doesn't give the defender any second or glimpse of an opportunity to close in at all. Just that dish back behind. 1-2, throw, gone. To have generated that much spin from that quickly of a release is so impressive.
Pull reception. And we're going. Goldfingers get it out to the midway mark. Geitzen goes into the dump space. Lippold. Elias Semper must be a younger brother. Dump back. Sent high. Geitzen and does get a reception on the doorstep. Lippold finds a seam in. And Goldfingers on the board for a second time. Tied up.
Some wonderful patience in their offense there. They really made sure to take their time working the disc down. And the confidence and assurance that they had in each of their options, being patient rather than thinking, oh, we've got a height, we've got some speed, let's just send it. No, they wanted to make sure, and here's that clap catch bid from Gietzen. Wanting to find that dump behind, but instead finds Semper with a beautiful.
Here's the pull. And Gambozinos, I like the fielding. LeCroix puts things into motion. Simosh fires deep, chases on Barroso with the goal. Nice huck to a nice open receiver.
They're completely wide open. I was a bit confused as to why there weren't any defenders there, but really capitalizing on having that wide open space, just using it to their advantage. Just almost hesitating, thinking, are they completely free? Yes, they are. I'm going to take that on. And then beautiful shot. Gentle jump into the end zone.
It's a good question we've had. Why are both teams playing in dark? I don't have the answer. I mean, purple and green, we can tell the difference, but there's some truth to it. Not everybody can.
Let's hope that nobody on either team is colorblind,
Yep.
because otherwise that could cause some problems.
As we look out to the shipping container, we are aware that we've got the wrong flag. I see you in the chats. We are trying to find a solution for that, but a small glitch in the matrix. Goldfingers. Fire forward. Geitzen. And then he bangs it deep and touched. What a touch. Zumba lays the body on the line and gets just a piece of it.
That was phenomenal to start off with, but you can also see like an alternate reality where Wiedenroth was actually able to get the second attempt on that. You could see the fingertips. It was almost there. It was so close. Phenomenal play from both sides.
So Gambozinos will take over. And Marquez strides to the disc and picks up. Deep goes, but the throw doesn't. Silva gets a gainer. Bem. Back to Rodriguez. Marquez fires. Looking for Silva. What a chase. Puts on the burners and gets under that one. 4-2 now for Gambozinos.
You can really see that they're experienced beach players just by the way that they run, the way that they're able to just slice and jab their feet through the sand at absolute pace. It's incredible to watch. I'm always in awe at people that can run quickly and for a long time on the sand. And it's really playing in their favor because they're able to make shots and take on options that not necessarily all players who are on the beach can do unless you're very experienced. There's now the second break for Gambozinos.
There is the Portuguese flag. The same one they've got on their sleeves. Big love to our Portuguese viewers. We're with you. Even if that scoreboard is not right, thank you. We continue to see you in the comments.
The brick pull will move it into first third of the pitch.
Deep shot goes. That is, no, it's dropped. Otherwise, it was very close. I think the toe drag may have worked if the hand worked.
Yeah, Sempa was in a perfect position for the toe drag. His feet were still in the pitch. But yeah, just either ground strip or it was just out of the fingertips, unavailable.
And Gambozinos. Gainer out from their end zone. That connects with Avellini. And another connection in the middle, only just Donlet. Back to Silva. Silva pops the backhand over to Bem. And Bem maintains eyes upfield. Ooh, left hand fails. That one did a full spinorama and then hit the ground.
That looked like it was almost an intimidation drop. So feeling that the defender had bid behind them and thinking, I have to make sure I get onto this disc, and it just slipping at the fingertips.
Goldfingers. Leading throw. Ludecki, and then finds its way in to the number 18 shirt for the goal. That is Elias Semper.
Not a clean hold, but one that they're probably still going to be quite happy with. They're able to get the disc moving quite well between each other, taking on some of the more lead pass options down the sideline. Really pinned here. Saw Sempa going up the line, took it on. Then for the quick pop back into the end zone for the score.
So 4-3, 15 minutes into the game here from Gdańsk. Thank you so much for joining us. Love having you with us. Love that you get in the chats. Let us know when we're not quite right. And love having you hit that like button. We love having you as subscribers too. There's a whole lot of love going on right now. I can tell you that. Barroso delivers and spins. Then Lacroix continues on to Encarnação. Lacroix fires, looking to go back to Encarnação. He had a chance at the bid after the big fella missed, but just beyond the fingertips.
Took his time standing up from that, almost landing on his side. Oh, yeah, just so close. It's hard to concentrate when you're already falling, trying to think about catching.
Zips one to the far side. And back again. Nice take by Geitzen. And into the backfield, Zalewski. Boom. Geitzen takes it in the guts and then fires to the end zone. Looking for Naumann, and he's got him. Tied up at 4. Goldfingers do another.
Your first break for Goldfingers. Really trying to make light work. Capitalizing on any sort of mistake that Gambozinos have. It's pretty simple. Simple offense, to be honest. Open available person, yep, I'll take them. It was a really nice shot to find Naumann.
It sure was. All tied up. 17 minutes in now. Live from Gdańsk. Look at that hairdo. I need to get my hair like that one of these days.
You're the only person stopping you.
But I can't. I need a hairdresser.
Again, you're the only person stopping you.
Okay, fine, Gigi. I don't think she has a hairdresser. I think she just got skills, or maybe friends. Maybe I need friends. I'm the only person stopping me. I know.
You're welcome.
Big shot goes. Barroso will collect. Takes 2/3 of the field with it. Silva. Gives and goes. Barroso hits the deck. Nice catch as he does it. Marquez surveys, finds, and scores. Gambozinos chalk up another and stay in front as their flag changes. Rejoice, the Portuguese.
Yeah, that was certainly a point to take on with absolute conviction. They were pinned in the back corner of the end zone. The pole had floated into a beautiful space, into a beautiful point, really sandwiching them in. Defense had chased them down, and they took on a leading pass option to the far sideline to get them out of there. Then going for the quick give goes, just popping, weaving through each other until they could eventually find that score.
And they're looking good now. I mean, they're both sides looking good. 2 breaks to 1. Gambozinos started with them early. A response by Goldfingers, but I like that hold by the Gambozinos. They are looking very strong out there. I'm very happy. Let us know in the chats if you're really happy now, too, to see that Portuguese flag in the scoreboard. It's the little things that sometimes are easily noticed, and so when we get them right, we want you to notice them this time, too. Stay with us, peeps. Goldfingers behind the disc, fires into traffic, but gets away with one. Geitzen. Now he goes into the dump space. Straight back from Rosenbach and into the corner, a bit too far from the bidding Semper.
You can see by the fatigue as he stood up there, it was quite a lot to ask of him. Again, I love the option. I love the look. Just slightly too far out, too much zip.
Rui Ferreira, so happy to see the flag. It beats the birth of his firstborn. All right, now we're talking.
Some very patriotic people in the comments.
You better believe it. Zumba, as he's known, Humberto Rodriguez, as his birth certificate and passport would say, gets things going. Bem kicks to the sideline. Donley. Oh, and he misses the mark for Zumba, and short field for the Goldfingers. This would be a hold. On the pickup is Vidnoth. Fired for the end zone. Hits in the back corner. Geitzen, the recipient, and Goldfingers get the hold. It's all tied up. Kisses are blown. 5-5 on the board.
Certainly took a few attempts to get there. You can see our own gimbal cameraman, Felix. Yeah, it took a few attempts to get there. Some miscommunications on both sides. Just slight misunderstanding as to what was actually wanted, what was needed in that circumstance. And then eventually finding Gietzen towards the back corner of the end zone. Elation for Goldfingers.
Love to see it. There's a great pull, goes to the back of the end zone. And then fire deep. I think too much on it. It is even for the speedster Encarnação. That results in a turnover and a whole field for Goldfingers to look the other way.
I mean, you can't not send it, but there was slightly too much, just a little too much butter on the toast.
Too much butter on the toast. I like it.
Thank you.
There are a fair few mullets. I feel like there was like a haircut day recently for Goldfingers. That one taken away. Great defense by Marquez. And now a super short field. Gambozinos will pick up in an end zone set. Lacroix taking the primary throwing duties. Around and does hit in the corner. One throw after the pickup, and Gambozinos make it 6-5.
A super straightforward offense. You've got a small amount of the pitch left to throw into that front corner, and you take it on. A fantastic job from Gambozinos to get the D back. Almost anticipating Sempa going under to try and get the first cut. It's that break side throw. If you catch your defender sleeping, you're wide open.
Do you have a uniform that you prefer of the two? The purple with the initialism, or the green with the, I think it's like a creature of the night or something?
I prefer the color of the green. I think if Goldfinger's kit was the same color as Gambozinos, then I'd like it more.
All right, so you're somewhere in between these two. All right, Gigi sitting on the fence.
I'd live on the fence.
Okay. Welcome to Shade Gigi. Finely balanced on the fence.
Indecisive about everything. It's a great time.
It's safe. It's safe, Gigi. I'll say that. Silva goes to the corner. Marquez goes back to Silva in the middle, and now Zumba near sideline. He leans into a thought of a huck and then just gets it back to center. Zumba and Silva exchange. Marquez. Ooh, nice catch there by Bem. And far sideline leading for goal. Rui Silva runs under it, and Gambozinos chalk another one up.
You could almost see the two receivers kind of colliding into that same space, but thankfully one of them made the call for it, and it was Silva. And something I've been really enjoying about Gambozinos' offense is that they are always leaving somebody in that deep space. We've seen, particularly as fatigue starts to creep in the later part of the game, you have people get closer and closer and stay closer to the disc and not actually clearing enough space for people to provide a cut or provide an option. But here we had Silva in that back corner of the end zone to provide the slash across for them to take half.
Half taker, of course, no extra time given for the halftime here. 0 minute half as we see those flags waving. There was a bit of a scare, and it's still maybe coming. I don't want to talk too much about the weather as it remains calm, but there's been, it's coming. It hasn't come yet. We've got through a large part of the day, and maybe I've already said too much now, but there are some ominous colors still in the sky. But really, it's nice conditions right now, Gigi.
So far, yeah, it's been beautiful.
No sunburns, no wind burns. And this one will, wow, it ends up being perfect. I thought it was going to trail away, but it ended up being the perfect throw right to the corner. Expertly received by Encarnação. And Gambozinos take the half and the next point. The 2 for none with the break and the holds, and they go from 6-5 to 8-5. And there was some talk in the chat that they were playing better when they had the Spanish flag up, but now they're playing just as well with the Portuguese flag. So more rejoice from the Portuguese fandom in the chats.
Yeah, it's a super decisive way to start off your second half. When you're coming out on offense, you almost have to feel like you have to prove a point and just be like, right, let's make this clean, do this in one. Make sure that they don't start with a break, because that can be so dangerous. Obviously, it gives the other side an extra point, but it can just give that bit of leverage, that momentum. And thankfully, with Gambozinos having just secured themselves that hold, it might slow some momentum down.
Yeah, let's see as we go here. And that lands or drags out in any sense a brick.
Looks like it landed on the line.
And another mullet shot there as Florian Fischer saunters to the brick. That's one heck of a brick. And missed the first shot, but
there's a tape mark on the sideline.
Oh yeah, it is. That is right.
It's
wow.
really deep.
You should keep your poles in. You'd want to avoid that.
Yeah.
Silva goes up to Bem. Bem kicks out Barroso. Barroso inside. That's Donnelly. And good churning now to Bem. And Donnelly again. Doorstep in here. Easy one around Barroso. Not so easy catch. Throws the body. Comes up with the goods. 9-5. It's all taken and no given.
You almost jinxed that one by saying an easy throw around, but also having to go to ground and successfully scooping that up into the chest. And I was having this brief conversation during one of the last streams that I had with Smurf about pulls and how that they can make or break a point. And that was a circumstance where it seemed to absolutely shut, I don't know, it went into Gambozinos' favor here.
We will take a short break here. We'll discuss more about the polls and everything else between Goldfingers and Gambozinos when we're back after these words.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my God! Somehow they do it! 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. It is a nice run of points for the Gambozinos. We talked a bit about the pulling game. There's a little bit of chat conversation in the chat about the style game. I say porque no los dos, but I'm speaking Spanish, and we've had enough Spanish here, but why not both? Which style's better here, the mustache or the mullet, Gigi?
I think I'm in mustache camp.
Mustache camp?
Mustache camp.
I'm with you.
I don't know, some really good.
I mean, last year I was doing a little bit of the both. I had the mullet and the mustache combo. I've given up on the mullet, but not on the mustache. So I'm with you.
I mean, you've expanded the mustache, if
Yes,
anything.
it's like a mustache and light painted beard.
It's facial hair.
Yes. Wiesen. And deep shots it. And when you deep shoot to your top point getter and he's wide open, good things happen. 6-9 as Semper chucks one up for the purple.
I'm not sure what was discussed during that timeout call, but it was maybe just a case of let Semper do what Semper does. Because Gambozinos have done a fantastic job, not only shutting down all of the players from Goldfingers, but particularly Semper. We've seen a few occasions where Goldfingers have been looking for Semper generally on an under, like churning that through, and he's just been completely shut out and shut down. So this intelligent defense, and now they've Goldfingers have capitalized on something that they can continue to use to their advantage. Got some sideline dogs. That is a very good dog.
And pull reception, Lacroix gives and gets. Barroso threw it and lost eye contact just before, and Goldfingers don't mind. Backup plan is there! And the backup plan is called Janos Semper. Saves the day there on the miss and makes it look like it was part of the plan.
Yeah, accidental bookends. Very deliberate D, but then on the backup reception for Goldfingers. And again, let Semper do what Semper does. I think this was a well-placed shot, but it was just a bit too early to jump up from Nolman.
No talk about that back line yet. I wonder. Let's see. We get the high angle here. Did that back line, was the landing simultaneous? Did he land on the line?
No.
His feet were still connected when he caught it? Because I think that is very close, Gigi.
Yeah,
that is very,
really
very
Have
close.
to go frame by frame, but not right now.
Not right now, but we're playing on. The goal's given. As Lacroix gets it on the up line cut, puts to center for Barroso. Barroso goes inside, takes Marquez. Now back to the middle. Flipper over the top. Right back to Lacroix. And another flipper. Squeaks one in. Felipe Barroso, a quick goal for the Gambozinos.
Very casual throw for the assist there, when it actually looked quite chaotic towards the front of that end zone space. There are a lot of defenders clustered around the stack. But as soon as there was the gap, they were able to just figure it out, take their time, give the fake there, wait until something comes over, and then a little scuba over the top.
Once you get going with the scuba, it's so much easier to, like, you know, keep it going. Once you, like, I don't know if it's necessarily a confidence thing, but once it gets pulled out, it just feels easier to keep it out. And there's the case there. You see the back-to-back scoops, both for completions, one for an assist. There's the pull. And reception for Goldfingers, Fisher to Semper. Semper to Semper, but the miss there, even with the bid. Zumba centers. Donnelly back to Zumba. And the take there towards the sideline. Avellini to Silva, but not enough pop on that one. And a turnover in the middle of the field. Goldfingers taking their time to pick this one up.
You can sense the fatigue. It's absolutely exhausting having to run around on the sand constantly.
Oh, nice bid there. Great pickup, then shot for goal and a nice take. Janos Semper gets up, and what a play by Lippold to make that layout, get up, calm himself, and throw a strike to the end zone.
They seem to have found something in them just to give a little bit more oomph. We've had a few bids coming here and there. This one from Semper with a miscalculation of where to throw the disc. And then again, this slightly longer, slicey shot. Beautiful grab from Lippold. And then I was convinced that was going to soar over the top, but Semper's got hops.
Yeah, we were saying earlier that you know, you see so many skies on the beach, and you know, justifiably so. But you know, I was talking with Atkins, I was talking on the sideline with Sebastian Spiegel and a few others, and they just said that you sink into the sand. It's like quicksand. It's very, very soft and dense, and tough to find springs off it. But Semper did get up off the ground there. Barroso, low throw, but caught by Encarnação. Led forward. Marquez finds his way through to Encarnação. And Marquez again. Finds a open target going a bit of both ways. Finally chooses a direction and ends up with a goal.
Just to be sure, signaling the goal. It did look quite close, but thankfully there was somebody there to tell them it was a goal.
Simosh wipes the sand off the stash. Gets onto the haunches to catch some breath, and they're still down a bit here, but plenty of time. Sorry, they're up a bunch. And enough time to protect, rather. But lots of game to play. 11-8. The current scoreline.
Just going back on the mullets versus mustaches comment, I think this game is the physical representation of mullets versus mustaches.
So I did touch on it being a mythical creature, or something like, I didn't say the words mythical creature, but I said something of the likes. But the claw of a Gambozino, a mythical creature, Portuguese version of a snipe hunt. I don't know what a snipe hunt is, but I thought it was something that like comes at you in your nightmares is what I believe I recall being told at some stage. You can feel free to elaborate. We're seeing you in the chats. Sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight. It's like Enter Sandman here at the beach. Semper dumps back. Lippold leads the throw. Rauschenbach fires and finds Semper Elias for the goal this time. 9-1-1 on the scoreboard, but in inverted order. 11-9. Gambos still in front.
That was one of the examples that I was trying to provide as to how a pull can make or break a point. So in that circumstance where the pull had gone out and Goldfingers were able to bring it in from the brick mark, they had a significantly smaller amount of space that they had to work the disc down. And if they just get some things moving, so providing some sort of pull play, really straightforward.
Gigi, Benji's just done some very simple Googling for us. Gambozinos. So I guess they've got claws, but they've also got like duck feet at the back, and they've got feathers and horns and like a squirrel-looking mouth and rabbit-looking ears. This thing is...
Is that a platypus tail? What is that?
I don't know what is going on with this thing, but it's got all sorts of parts.
I like it.
Certainly a mustache wouldn't go awry on an animal with that many different parts.
Goldfingers have set up a zone of some description. One person in the chase, two people in tips, one person in the middle, and one person deep.
And a flipper compromises most of that. The scuba over the top. Right back in Encarnação. Lacroix. Simosh. And Marquez. Encarnação slowly navigating this zone are the Gambozinos. Gambozonos right now. High take, but easy, and throw to end zone. There's company, but well read by Marquez. Didn't bite into where the defender was going. Just eyes on the disc. Retreated and caught for the goal.
Really chill on that reception. That's not an easy disc to read whatsoever, particularly when you've got defensive pressure coming flying through. You almost have to hold your breath for a second and readjust all of your thinking just to reset, realizing, oh, defense hasn't gotten it. I still need to get it. AC high release flick. I'm not keen on the angle of release personally. It was a bit too OI, and that's why it tipped in the wind.
Agreed. Could have been faster and flatter, as you see Portugal playing right here in Poland. On the clock, Gambozinos have worked their way to game point right now. Zumba, Mr. Rodriguez with the pull. And the pickup. Lippold puts things into play. Fischer fires. Looking for Semper, for Rui in front, and Semper makes a play. Gets in front of Rui Silva. Sorry, and chalks another one up. 10-12. Extends the game.
That's going to be quite intimidating when you're chasing down the disc on defense against somebody that is quite a bit taller than you, has already caught a fair few deep shots. And Silva wasn't the only defender there. Bim was also in the space, but I think maybe misjudged how fast the disc was moving, so maybe thought, I'm not going to get there in time. but actually did have a little bit more time and could have possibly applied more pressure, but shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Shoulda,
Senko.
coulda, woulda, didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe next time. For now, game points for the Gambozinos with a guaranteed possession unless they drop the pull, but they haven't done that. So possession in hands. Simosh to Barroso. Lacroix winds up and the mark just flopped trying to stay in the way. Simosh. Lacroix. Flipper. Oh, and he coughs one up. Goldfingers disc to bring it to within one if they can break here, GG.
The 11th player has arrived. That would be the wind. It's certainly gotten a bit blusterier over
And-
the last 30 seconds.
And you know what else is a certainty is that we have seen this situation on at least 2 occasions today where game points are nowhere near secure and teams come back and bring it to game point, to double game point, otherwise known as universe. Can the Goldfingers be the third?
Okay. You can look at the video if you want.
I would contest it. Okay.
And contested foul sent back to Cruces. Cruz has been playing for 21 years, a veteran out there. Spin, fired up line, gets a connection. Naumann gets it into the hands of Geitzen and in for the goal. That was out of the hands of Wiedenoth, rather. But within one now, GG, a late game break. That's 2 in a row. Ooh, are they feeling the pressure now? You know what it's like at the end of the game when you've got game point. As soon as you fail, that seed of doubt, ooh, it can really mess around with the psyche.
Oh yeah, especially as you're staring Universe Point in the eyes, just as it's getting a little bit closer.
And then, of course, Universe Point, anything can happen. Anything.
Yep.
So, Gambozinos, one more chance to end things here. Goldfinger, one more chance to be heroes. Incoming cargo. Here's the pull. Fisher puts a beautiful pull. 2/3 of the way back of the end zone. And Simosh and Lacroix survey their options. Nice around break with the forehand. That one gets to Marquez and he sends deep. Barroso wasn't able to long jump it in. Now waits for reinforcements. That one. And Encarnação. Big around. It looks good. It will be. That is the end of the game. Gambozinos get the game-winning point. They let Goldfingers have a sniff, but that was about all. Finish things 13-11 here. GG.
You could sense after that huck went up, the anticipation, the anxiety that you could feel radiating off of the pitch just to get the score in. Thankfully, they managed to holster what could have been some dicier options. Thankfully, didn't milk in the disc too much, was safer instead, being just outside of the end zone and waiting for there to be a proper receiver. And then even then, when the disc got caught up in the wind, again, just waiting for it to settle down into a much more catchable position, giving them the win.
Well, that is a win on the board. There's another look at that game-winning point. We've got action all weekend long More to come today, of course. Did you ever have a doubt? And with that, we've got next up Grandmaster Flash from Poland taking on the Wizards from Geneva, followed up by E6 and Troubles. And then we'll go into a power round in the Open Division, and that will be determined very soon now that these Open results are in. And the last game of the day, Deep Dish Discs against Putti, as we take a look at the game stats here. Anything that jumps off the screen at you? Well, as they've gone away, but anything?
There was a pretty even amount of turns, 9 for 10. So it meant that, generally speaking, whenever Gambozinos were able to come back off of a turn, they were doing so a bit more cleanly, and that clearly made the difference.
There is the difference. The 2-point win for Gambozinos. Great game. Thanks for being with us here on ULTI.TV. Remember your calls to action. Like, subscribe, become a patron, and if you're excited for next weekend, to make sure you become a YouTube member with us. For Gigi Morrison, I've been Stefan Rapazzo. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you. Thanks. Merci beaucoup.